One of the easiest modes of entry into the international market is through the export of goods or through the import of goods. In contract manufacturing, either they may outsource the manufacturing of spare parts or they may outsource the assembling of the spare parts into the final product. Whatever the goods are manufactured, so they will be just sold to the international firm where the finished goods will be sold there in the local market. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. I welcome you all to this session 2 on chapter 11. So let us see what this holds for us. So in our previous session, I had discussed about the various modes of entry into international business. In this, the first mode discussed was export and import business. Now in export and import business, we have two types. One is the direct exports and import, and other one is the indirect export and import. Now let us have a look into what are the advantages of export and import business. Now, as compared to the other modes of entry, export or importing is the easiest way of gaining entry into international markets. So, one of the easiest modes of entry into the international market is through the export of goods or through the import of goods. Now, exporting and importing is less involving in the sense that business firms are not required to invest that much time and money as is needed when they desire to enter into joint ventures or set up manufacturing plants and facilities in host countries. So, compared to the setting up of a joint venture or compared to contract manufacturing, we feel that the exporting and importing business, so it is one of the most easiest way of entering into the foreign markets. So, whenever we are exporting goods to the foreign markets, there will be one buyer who will be ready to buy the product, or if we are importing from the other countries, so there will be already one seller who will be ready to sell the goods to our country. This is one of the advantages of export and import business. So, we are not required to invest much time and effort in this export or import business because already there may be a buyer or there will be a seller in case of imports. Then the next advantage of export and import business is, so it does not require much of investment in foreign countries. Exposure to foreign investment risk is nil or much lower than is present when firms opt for other modes of entry into international business. Now, the next advantage of this export and import business is the investment is almost nil here. Why? Because most of the production or whatever goods we are exporting, it will be done in the home country itself, and then we will be selling it to the buyer there. Or if we are importing, so everything will be ready in the home country. Only thing we will be buying from that particular exporter. So here the investment is nil and then the risks are much lower compared to other modes of entry. Then the next, we look into the limitations of this export and import business. Since goods physically move from one country to another, it involves additional packaging, transportation and insurance costs. So, whenever we are exporting goods to another country, so that kind of goods, whenever we are packing the goods, it needs some additional packaging. So it needs some additional transportation and it also needs some additional insurance because the goods have to move through the sea route to the other countries. If it is a very bulky good, then we have to transport it through the sea route. So exporting is not a feasible option when import restrictions exist in a foreign country. So whenever there is a restrictions on the import of goods from foreign countries, then in such cases the exporters will have to face the no from the importing countries. So this is the one of the limitations. Then the next limitation of export and import is export firms basically operate from their home country and produce in the home country, then ship the goods to the foreign countries. So if you can see here, the last limitation is most of the manufacturing process in case of export of goods, it will be done in the home country itself and only then it will be sold to the foreign countries where there will be a market for that goods. Now, this exporter, his work is over. Once he just exports the goods to the importer in the foreign country, his work will be done. Now, what about the goods which are being sold there? Now, the exporter will not know about the consumer's preferences there. So he will not be aware about what is the market there, how the goods are being sold, what is the rate at which it is being sold. So the exporter is ignorant about all these things. And as such, the importer also, if he is importing goods from another nation and selling it in his own country also, there may be stiff competition from the existing local manufacturers also. So they may be selling the same goods at a lesser price, because of which the imported goods, they may be facing stiff competition from the local manufacturers. So as such, this becomes one of the limitation. Next, let us then look into the next mode of entry, that is the contract manufacturing. Now, what do we mean by contract manufacturing? So, it refers to a type of international business where a firm enters into a contract with one or a few local manufacturers in the foreign countries to get certain components or goods produced as per its specifications. So, it is also known as outsourcing, and it can take three major forms. Now, when we think about what do we mean by contract manufacturing? So, contract manufacturing refers to a type of international business where a firm enters into a contract with the local manufacturer of a foreign country to get certain components or goods manufactured as per its specifications. So, as per the specifications of that particular contractor, the contractee will have to produce certain goods in his own country, and then he will have to send it to the contractor. So, in this way, some of the spare parts or some of the goods or those materials which are available in abundance in some countries, so they can make use of such raw materials and get the product done, and then they can just send it to the contractor. So, in this way, we can see that this contract manufacturing, it is usually done in the third world or the developing countries. So, where the raw materials are available abundantly, and then the labor is also very cheap. So, what the contract manufacturer, what he will do is, he will just give the contract to the local manufacturers of the third world countries, where he can get the work done very cheaply and where the raw materials are available in abundance. So, in this way, he will get his work done with a lesser rate, and he will be earning profits in the long run. Now, this kind of contract manufacturing, we call it as outsourcing. The production of certain components such as automobile components or shoe uppers to be used later for producing final products such as cars and shoes. So, these contract manufacturers, usually they will just outsource some of their spare parts, it may be, or parts of the shoe or something like that. So, small items will be outsourced to the third world countries, where it will be manufactured and sent to the home country, where the entire thing will be assembled or it will be used for the final production. So, in this way, we can see that contract manufacturing will help in bringing down the cost of production in the home country. Next, assembly of components into final products such as assembly of hard disk, motherboard, floppy disk drive, and modem chip into computers. Complete manufacture of products such as garments. So, here we can see the various examples of contract manufacturing. So, the assembly of components into final products such as assembly of hard disk. You know, in the computer we have the hard disk, and then the motherboard, then the floppy disk and the modem. So, all these can be assembled and then it can be sold, or you can just have the complete manufacture of the clothes. So, for example, nowadays in India we have the export manufacturing, export garments. So, most of the people, you can see, they go for the export garments. Why? Because there is lot of unskilled labor here. Labor is available very cheaply in India, as a result of which there is lot of outsourcing done for export garments. So, India has become the hub of export garments. Now, this is one of the finest example for contract manufacturing. manufacturing. Now, in contract manufacturing, either they may outsource the manufacturing of spare parts or they may outsource the assembling of the spare parts into the final product. So, in this way, contract manufacturing will be helping the third world countries. Then, the goods are produced or assembled by the local manufacturers as per the technology and management guidance provided by the foreign company. So, in this we can see that the contract manufacturer or the local manufacturers, they will be assembling the goods or producing the goods as per the instructions given by the foreign company. Then, the goods so manufactured or assembled by the local producers are delivered to the international firm for use in its products or outrightly sold as finished products by the international firm under its brand name in various countries, including the home, host and other countries. So, whatever the goods are manufactured, so they will be just sold to the international firm, where the finished goods will be sold there in the local market, or these finished goods, they will be sold under its own brand name. So, international firm, it will sell these goods under its own brand name in various countries, including the home country, host country and other countries. Now, let us have a look into what are the advantages of contract manufacturing. So, it permits international firms to get goods produced on a large scale without requiring investment in setting the production facilities. So, in this kind of arrangement where we have contract manufacturing, the goods can be manufactured on a large scale because there will be no investment as such. Local manufacturers will be investing in all the machinery, etc. And only thing is they'll get the contract for work from the foreign countries and they get the work done as per the specification of the foreign company. So, in this way, the manufacturer or the original manufacturer in the home country, he need not make any investment for manufacture. Since there is no or little investment in the foreign countries, there is hardly any investment risk involved in the foreign countries. In contract manufacturing, the original, the brand owner, he will not be investing any money in this, and as such, there is no risk at all. And then, in case of contract manufacturing, there is little investment in the foreign countries. So, the contractor will not be making any investment. He will be just sending the order to the local manufacturers and they will have to work as per the specifications. They will have to invest their time, money and technology, and they have to produce the goods as per the specifications of the foreign companies. Then, next advantage is, it also gives an advantage to the international company of getting products manufactured or assembled at lower cost, especially if the local manufacturers happen to be situated in countries which have low material and labor costs. So, the next advantage of contract manufacturing is the manufacturer can get the goods done at a lower cost because he will be outsourcing it to those countries where the raw material is available cheaply and the labor cost is also very cheap here. Then, the next advantage is local producers in foreign countries also gain from contract manufacturing. So, if they have any idle production capacities, manufacturing jobs obtained on contract basis in a way provide a ready market for their products and ensure greater utilization of their production capacities. Now, the local producers in foreign countries also, so they find that they also gain from contract manufacturing. Suppose they have already set up a very large plant, and if the plant is not being used to the fullest capacity, then they can always engage in contract manufacturing. So, they can get the contracts from the foreign countries and get it manufactured in their own plant, and they can just sell it in the local market as the brand of the foreign international firm. So, in this way, the idle capacity will be also used and the foreign company also will get a wider market for its products. So, in this way, we can see the next advantage here. The local manufacturer also gets an opportunity to get involved in international business and avail incentives if any available. So, in case the international firm desires goods to to be produced, to be delivered to home countries or some other foreign countries. So the local manufacturer also gets an opportunity to get involved in international business. Suppose he is limiting himself to the local market, then if he is getting involved in international business, so he will be getting more incentives, because the whatever he is manufacturing, he will be selling to the some other countries, and in this way he can earn some incentives also in the long run. Then let us look into the limitations of contract manufacturing. The first one is local firms might not adhere to the production design and quality standards, thus causing serious product quality problems to the international firm. So in these limitations, we should understand that whenever the foreign company gives a contract to the local manufacturer, they may not adhere to given to them by the foreign country. So this is one of the limitations. So the products what they manufacture, the spare parts, it may not be suitable for the final product. Then the next limitation is the local manufacturer in the foreign country loses his control over manufacturing process, because the goods are produced strictly as per the terms and conditions of the contract. Now the local manufacturer, so he will be manufacturing strictly on the basis of the specifications given by the foreign company. So as such, he will be losing control over his manufacturing unit. So this is a limitation for the local manufacturer, whereas the previous one was the limitation for the contractor. Then the next limitation is the local firm producing under contract manufacturing is not free to sell the contracted output as per its will. It has to sell the goods to the international company at predetermined prices. Now, whenever the contractee has already produced the goods and it is in his godown, but he cannot sell these goods because the contractor has not allowed him to sell the goods. Now, even if he has to sell the goods, he has to sell it at the predetermined prices. So whatever the contractor has told, the foreign company has told, only at that price only he has to sell the goods. So this becomes a limitation for the local manufacturer. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all understood this session. Thank you.